In this tutorial, we're going to look at the Boolean command, where you can connect objects, combine them into one, or difference them, or find the intersection. So let's go ahead and start by making two boxes. I'll just go to solid, box, corner to corner, and then create my first box. And then one nice thing you can do in Rhino is if you right click, it'll redo the last command that you did, and this is true of all the commands. So I can just go and very easily create a second box just by right clicking instead of going to the drop down again. Okay, so I've also changed my display here to ghosted, so you can select display ghosted. You can also, from the down arrow next to perspective, select ghosted, and it should display something like this. And maybe we'll just move this and rotate this box a little bit. So I'll select one of these boxes, make sure your gumball is on, and that's this little icon here with the XYZ arms and rotation and scale widgets here. So if you pull up on the blue arm, that moves an object vertically, the green on the y-axis, and the red on the xy-axis. You can also rotate objects. So let's go ahead and just rotate this a little bit to make it a little more interesting. And then we'll just kind of move it around. You can also scale an object by dragging on these. So we'll just kind of scale this a little bit as well. Okay, so to Boolean this object, you can go to solid, and then these are your different Boolean options. Let's try the first one. You select union, and it asks you to select surfaces or polysurfaces to union. So we'll select the first one, the second one, and then hit enter, and that will combine those two objects into one solid geometry. So I'll go ahead and edit undo or control Z that. Let's go to solid difference. It asks me to select polysurfaces to subtract from, so we can select our first one and then enter, and then select our second one, enter, and that will subtract the two geometries. Okay, I'll just undo that, and now go to solid intersection. It asks for the first set of surfaces and then the second set of surfaces, enter, and that will create the intersection of those two geometries. One really nice option, if I undo that, is under solid Boolean Two Objects. And by the way, you don't have to always go to the drop down. You can just start typing. So if I start typing Boolean in the command line here, you can see that all the options pop up as well. So I can just select Boolean Two Objects, and then you select your two objects, and then you actually click through to iterate through the different Boolean options. So the first one is union, and then intersection, and then subtraction. And when you are at the one that you want, you can just hit enter, and it will execute that particular Boolean.